Literally is no pressure. I'm your host, Bangembugg. Good.
Co-host Karisha.
And we got a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Amaz'on The Goddess.
And I guess we're gonna start it off with I must ask you, like, is it okay if I put this up on all my social media posts?
Of course.
And if there's anything I say that you don't like want to answer, you can always say I don't want to answer.
I got you.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna start off with tell everybody where you originally from.
Hey, all right. So I was born in Philly on a naval base, and I was raised in North Cross, Georgia, Gwinnett, North Side. What's up?
So did you grow up with both your parents?
I was raised by my grandparents. My dad passed when I was 11. I don't really have a relationship with my mom, but I was raised by my grandparents mainly.
You want to talk about it or like what's?
Hey, I mean, that's what we're here for, right? That was all I knew. Like my grandparents and that side of the family was all I knew. Was my paternal grandparents. They're all I knew really. They was old school, of course. It was kind of challenging because most of my friends most of my peers in my school, they had their parents, you know what I mean? So they're a lot younger than my grandparents, so they had a different raising style or parenting style. So some of the things that my friends could do, I couldn't. So I was pretty sheltered, you know what I mean, growing up. There was a lot of things that I couldn't get into. My grandparents was not having it. Okay. So, it kind of made it difficult in my adulthood because some of the ways that I was raised kind of carried over, you know what I mean, to the point where it's like being sheltered, you kind of get a little anxious around other people. I come a long way, y'all. Like, for you to hit me up about the interview, it was just like, hey, might as well, I gotta push myself out there. And sometimes it's a struggle for me because growing up with my grandparents, it was like hush mouth, like shut your ass up, don't say nothing. I'm sorry. But yeah, like you be quiet, like you around grown people, you be quiet. You don't have an opinion, you don't have nothing, you don't have anything to say here, and it was kind of hard to, really voice or really figure out who I was, you know what I mean? Like being raised by my grandparents kind of hindered me from developing, you know what I mean, and really understanding who I am as an individual. I was who they wanted me to be, you know what I'm saying? So as I got older, I started to feel, other things like, this is not natural for me. I just felt this constant rebellion of what my grandparents was telling me to be. So, it was a struggle, trying to understand who I am as a person and still trying to get past the ways that my grandparents try to structure me to be, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So could you deal with a guy like that who needs you to, like, if he was like really successful, he needs you to just like shut up and just like go along with whatever I say, like, could you do that?
No, I couldn't, because like I said, just growing up and knowing who I am, I know I have a voice and I know my voice is relevant. I know that I matter, you know what I mean? So if I'm dealing with a man that is trying to shut me up and just make me do whatever it is that he say, it's gonna be a problem, you know what I mean? Not so much as saying that I'm not a submissive person, it's just the fact that what I say matters too. You know what I mean? We should be able to come together and compromise and be able to come up with a plan together and not just do whatever it is that you say. You come and you tell me your plan and I say, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And if it's something I feel like is in alignment to, what I am, what I believe in, then we move forward from that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just a compromise thing there.
Okay, so what do you feel like the most traumatic experience you had growing up? I know you said your dad passed, but something like it was like traumatic that you might have.
I can't really think of an actual event that happened. Just growing up with my grandparents was a challenge in itself, you know what I'm saying? When my dad passed, honestly, I don't feel like I grieved the way that I should have. You know what I mean? Like, I was 11 years old. I really didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? It was just so many dark spaces in between to the point where I just didn't know what was going on. Like, it was like a lot of controversy behind how he even died. Like, I don't even really know the truth about how he passed, you know what I mean? So just getting through that, and I think I just became a little numb, you know. My mom, you know, just the stories that I heard about my mom, just kind of put me in a dark space to the point where I kind of buried some things, you know what I mean? So I have unhealed wounds that I don't even know I have, you know what I mean? So certain things that I've experienced in life kind of started surfacing those. So I would have to go back and just, you know, surface those wounds and really try to heal from them, you know what I mean? And understand where they came from. So it's not really a specific traumatic event that I went through. I just really think it's just my entire childhood over time, just finding those buried wounds that I didn't know I had, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you know, push the mic down a little bit. Push it back, push it back.
This way?
Back the other way.
Okay.
Back, like towards the side.
Oh, sorry. Right here?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you feel like the difference between being strong and numb?
Being numb is really just not feeling anything, you know. Not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do, not even knowing where to begin to the healing process. Being strong is having knowledge of those things and being able to acknowledge them and then address them. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging. It's hard when you actually find exactly what it is, the root cause of things. It hurts so bad. And being strong is really just, you know, having that ability to move forward and move past those things, and just having the knowledge that once you move past them, that things will get better for you.
So do you self-medicate, or you been to therapy, or like how do you cope with everything?
No, I mean, I've attempted to find therapy, but my money tight. Okay. So in the process of that, you know, I say, hey, look, I know I need something. So let me dig into myself and try to see if I can do this on my own. And I haven't had any therapy, man, but you know, I do a lot of research, and I started my spiritual path about 7 years ago. And on that path, I started understanding my true power. Like, we all have the ability to heal ourselves from something, regardless.
So you are you healed enough for a relationship?
I feel like I am. I'm in a relationship right now.
And he don't have no complaints on you being damaged or nothing.
Nah, I feel like we both are. We kind of both help each other go through our shit. You know what I mean? Like, we understand each other, and I feel like that's what makes it work. We understand each other. We understand that we've both been through some you know what I mean? So we help each other. You know, we have our different perspectives on things, but we come together and we help each other get through whatever it is that we're experiencing.
Okay, it's a quote. It say, sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows. So I guess tell me how you can relate to that quote.
You know, your heart is like, if you follow your heart in certain things, it can kind of lead you in a way where it's like, you know, your mind is telling you one thing only because of this is what you've been told, this is what you've been embedded to know. Like, people have been conditioned to know or to feel a certain way or to have a certain perspective. But your heart is, I feel like your heart is leading with love and emotion. You know what I mean? Your mind is your logic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to decipher between the two. And, you know, it's just that once you can get your mind and your heart on the same frequency, so to speak, then you tend to make better decisions in your life. You know what I mean? But you said your heart heals faster than your brain. Or which one was it? The brain. Which one was it?
Sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows.
Yeah, that definitely plays a part, because, like they say, you know, over time, it heals everything, or time heals everything. But, you know, if your brain is telling you something like logically, then it's like you want to follow that because that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? But your heart kind of plays a part in it in a sense because, you know, like I said, it leads with your emotions.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you just gotta decipher, you know what I mean? Like what, you know, you gotta really listen to your intuition at the end of the day.
So, like, if you have like a real great moment, do you take time out to like talk to your dad, like, or pray with him, or I mean, like, kind of talk to him, like, knowing he can't respond, but like, do you know how some people talk to him like they parent or they a dead relative, like they kind of still with them? Do you kind of feel like
yeah, man, I'm at my dad's grave almost every other week. You know, like if I'm experiencing something that I can't understand, I tend to always find the answers when I go to him. You know what I mean? I'll go out there, I'll put my little blanket down by his headstone, and I'll sit out there and I'll just talk to him like he's right there with me. And I would literally find the answers. I don't know where they come from. They just come to me. You know, like the challenges with my children, the challenges with my career, whatever it is that I'm having an issue with. I can go out there and just talk to him. And then I'll leave, and all of a sudden I'll just have this idea, like, yo, okay, I can do this. You know, I mean, it just feels good just to be able to talk to him. You know, I'll just talk out loud. You know, it's like a spiritual thing, a spiritual connection. You know?
Absolutely, I love that.
Okay, so you said kids. So how many kids you got?
Well, I had 3. I had 2 girls and a boy. My 2 girls are with me. My son is not. He's grown. Yeah,
Grown. Okay.
So you done having kids?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm about to be 40 on the 23rd, so yeah, I'm
Congratulations.
good. Thank you.
What's up?
Yeah.
Okay, a time, I guess, I don't know if you done cussed out your man, but like if you cuss out your man and like you cry right after because you kind of like you was too mean, like have you done that?
I'm not really one of those, you know what I mean? Like I don't like confrontation at all.
I feel it.
I try to avoid it at all costs.
It's
But
like letting me walk away.
right, for real, like because you don't want. I don't like that. I don't like conflict. I don't like. I mean, I'm honestly one of those people that will literally sacrifice just to keep peace. You know what I mean? So if it's a disagreement, you know, I'm let it be known how I feel, but I'm not finna yell. I'm not finna do none of that because I'm really adamant about protecting my energy.
Man,
And you know what I'm saying? And if your energy ain't right within, then it shows on the outside. You know what I mean? It affects everything and everyone around you when your energy not right on the inside. So if I have a conflict, then I try to, you know what I'm saying, keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll voice what I feel. I ain't finna do that yelling back and forth.
Okay.
Did something happen to where like you got calm like that, or you always been like that? Been beat up, like and you just kind of start chilling out.
Shit, man. Yeah, I've been in some relationships where things got wild. You know what I mean? Where it's been physical, but I feel like the emotional or the emotional side of things hurt deeper than the physical. You heal faster from the physical, but that emotional or that mental shit, it lasts longer. And I feel like the more energy you put into the negative, the toxicity, the longer it takes for you to heal from it. And then on top of that, it kind of hinders you from seeing clearly and making sound decisions for your life in the future. You know what I mean? So I realized that just like, you know, nothing really traumatic happened to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've had some but you know, just over time, I just realized that, you know, you only get what you give. You know what I'm saying? And so if you give the energy to the shit that you don't want, you're gonna keep getting it. You know what I mean? So I felt like if I directed my energy in a different way, then things will start to manifest for me in the way that I want it to.
Yeah, you know, some abusers, they do it because the person did something.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's because I'm just going through some shit. So what was like your abuser going through?
I feel like the past relationships that I was in, I don't want to sit here and say that I didn't do nothing at all because I can't really determine what it is that I did to that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that you know, hey, whatever I did, you know, I apologize. But it was just unclear because they didn't know how to express their emotions. They didn't know how to tell me what was going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I felt like sometimes it was a guilty conscience. Sometimes I felt like it was just something they didn't know how to express or they didn't know how to bring to me. You know what I mean? So whatever it was, it is what it is. But, you know, it's just, hey, man, like, I'm trying to figure this out right here with you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, let's try to talk it out. But at the end of the day, it's like, if they trying to put their hands on me, I gotta defend myself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know I had a relationship in the past where he drank a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that brought on a lot of tension between us, and I wasn't trying to be nothing but a good woman to this man. You know what I'm saying? And he would just drink, and then he would, you know, be on his belligerent shit. You know what I mean? And it was just hard to understand that part of him. You know what I mean? And I understand that, you know, like, I was younger then. We were both younger then, you know, so sometimes you get to a point in life where you know how to voice what you've been through. You know, you grow, and then you understand exactly how to voice your issues. But then I just felt like it just was that we just didn't know how to communicate. You know what I mean?
So you forgiving, like, all the...
Oh, hell yeah, man. I ain't no grudges. Because like I said, I know that everybody has their moments in life. You know, we all grow at different paces. And I can't get mad at that man if he was growing at a different pace than me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I could have had my hand in whatever it was that he felt towards me. I don't understand it, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I didn't do anything at all. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's true.
a weight you need to lose that's not on your body.
Weight I need to lose that's not on my body.
That's deep. Okay.
Caring too much about what people think. That's been a struggle for me for the longest. You know, like I said, growing up with my grandparents, my main thing was to please them. You know what I mean? To the point where I would do things that I didn't want to do just to get their approval. You know what I mean? And it carried, like I said, it carried on to my adulthood where I dealt with certain issues that I didn't know I had. Like, for example, you know, you go and read and you research and you find things that you may relate to. And I found that, you know, maybe having abandonment issues was one of my issues, you know, because I don't know my mom. You know, the stories that I heard about my mom, they would say, like, your mom didn't want you. That's why she wasn't in your life. You know what I mean? I don't know how true that is. You know, I eventually found my mom when I was about to be 20 years old. I had been looking for her since I was 6. That was the last time I even seen my mom. I was 6 years old. So I went searching for her, and I finally found her. My boyfriend at the time, he was a bill collector, and I asked him to help me find her. He did like a little skip trace or something, and he found her. It was like two women in Philadelphia with her name. So I just chose one, and it just happened to be her. I wrote a letter to her, and you know, like all I had to go off of was what my people was telling me about her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't want to just jump down her throat like, you bitch, you left me, and you know, I didn't want to do that because I don't know her story. I don't know her side. So I just was like, you know, hey, this is what I've been told, but I really want a relationship with you. You know what I mean? I want us to eventually get to know each other, and just, you know, the interaction with her just kind of made it seem like the shit was true. You know what I mean? So it hurt, you know what I mean? And then my dad passed when I was 11, so I just felt completely alone. And I didn't want to be alone. You know, I didn't want to be by myself. So when I got into adulthood and started getting into my relationships, it became to a point where, you know, I would sacrifice myself to keep them in my life.
And what would?
Just, you know, just doing things that I didn't want to do, really. You know what I mean? Just, you know, people, exactly, fawning, you know what I mean? Doing the things that I really didn't want to do just to make them like me more, or just to kind of solidify the relationship. You know, like when I was younger, you know, in my early 20s, you know, and I started to do that, and then I started realizing how much it was draining me.
Wow.
And, but, you know, I still have a challenge of still thinking about what people think of me, you know what I mean? And although I moved to a different beat now, you know what I mean? I'm not the same as I was before, and I feel like I'm still growing. I got a lot of growth, you know, I got a lot of room to grow. But it's definitely not as bad as it was, but I still tend to have that challenge where, you know, I worry too much about what people may think about what I may say, especially in my music, you know what I mean? I kind of be a little careful about what I write, you know what I mean? Because I'm one of those that I don't like to write about shit that I ain't experienced, or I'm not one of those that create this fantasy idea of who I am for real, you know what I mean? But I still tend to be a little careful about that.
So you don't think that's part of being in a relationship, like kind of doing stuff that you might not want to do or don't like to do because the other person might like it?
I mean,
I feel like there's a difference.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, you gotta, you know, it's just, you know, whoever you're dealing with at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like their level of maturity or their level of mindset. You know what I mean? Because my man, he's not. If I don't like to do it, he's not gonna criticize me to, you know, try to make me do it. He respects, you know, what I like and what I don't like. If I don't fuck with something, he's gonna say, okay, well, cool. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's all about compromising. And I'm just blessed to have a man that we like the same shit. You know what I mean? So it's been pretty simple, but you know, I guess it just depends on who you deal with. You know,
He allowed to have like an extra girlfriend or anything?
he ain't going for that. He ain't going for that either. But you know, no.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever been around a person who always points out your wrongs, but they never see their own? How do you deal with it?
Listen.
Yo, man. Shit. Yeah. It's hard because like, yo, I'm not trying to flip, because it'll sound like you trying to flip it around, like when they be like, you doing this and this and this and this, and you be like, well, you doing this and this. So it just sounds like a tit for tat type situation. You know what I mean? But it's just like the way that I deal with that, or the way that I dealt with that situation, is just that, you know, hey, I'll analyze it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, you don't see yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Because somebody might see something about you that you didn't realize about yourself. So I'm always willing to. I'm always coming in a situation with an open mind. You know what I mean? I'm not closed-minded at all, and I'm open for criticism. I'm open for you, but as long as you real with me, you know what I mean? You're not just saying this shit to try to cover up what you got going on, you know what I mean, that I may not know about. You know what I mean? As long as you real with me, I'm open to whatever criticism that you may have for me, as long as it'll help me grow, or as long as it'll help me be a better person. You know what I mean? But I'm not finna just go back and forth like, well, you doing this and you doing that. I'm gonna hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna analyze that shit. And if I feel like it ain't fitting, or if it's not in alignment to what I feel about myself, then I'm like, okay, cool, you open to your opinion, man. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna take it as law. You know, I'm always working on myself. You know, okay. So whoever or whatever you say about me, you know, if it's something that I feel like is something that I can work on, then it is what it is. You know. I ain't finna go back and forth with you about what you doing, you know?
I mean, it's just best, like, to discuss whatever's at hand. Just don't be like, well, you did this. Like, let's talk about this shit first. And then if you say, oh, you did this, then we can talk about it. But just don't flip it around to like avoid it being on you or whatever.
Right, of course.
Okay, a jealous demon that appeared as a supportive angel. And he had one of those.
You know,
sound like you don't want to talk about it. Like, you got one.
I got a family member.
Okay.
That, you know, she played a part in my raising. And, you know, I put my trust in them a lot, you know, my family, because that was all that I knew. To find out, you know, as I got older, I started to realize that, you know, I would be getting discouraged on certain things just because they were jealous of me. Like, someone actually told me that they were envious of me. And when she told me that, it stuck with me. And it's been with me for years since she said it. And you know, she would put on as if, you know, she wants to help, but the help that she claimed that she wanted to give was always tangible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might be short on my bill, or my rent might be due, and I might, you know, my check might have got shorted or whatever. And she felt like that was help. You know, just giving bad advice. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying her helping you, that's not really help, you saying?
No, not if you're going to sit up there and talk about it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not helping me. That's not helping me. Because what's helping me, in my eyes, what's helping me is to get to the root problem of why my financial or my finances aren't where they need to be at right now. Help me understand how this works. You know what I'm saying? Give me some direction on how to maintain my finances. Or even better yet, put me on to some sources that will help me get knowledge of what I need so that I don't have to ask for help again. You know what I'm saying? But for you to throw me a couple of dollars because I'm short and then go tell everybody else that you did it, and then make me seem inadequate as a person, it's not helping me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the jealous side, I feel like, is what played that part, as far as, yeah, I did this for her, I did that for her. You know, she was, you know, telling you all your business, all her friends, and then when you come around, you can kind of tell that she was talking about you because the friends get quiet. You know what I'm saying? When you walk in the door, and it's just like, that's not help. You know what I mean? And you say, you know, when I call you out on it, you say, well, I was just trying to help you out. You know what I mean? I want to see you do well, but yet discouraging me to drop out of college. You know what I'm saying? It's not helping.
Was she like happy in her life?
She's not happy. She pretends to be, but she's not happy in her life. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the reason why I know she's not is because she focused on everybody else.
And not her.
And not herself. That's how I know she's not happy.
So why didn't you like cut off? Like she did it multiple times. Like why didn't you just cut off the person?
She been cut off. You know what I mean? It just took me a while to realize because she's a family member. You know what I'm saying? And when you got family, you want to believe that they have that family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to believe that your family jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? But reality is reality. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know? And yeah, it hurt to have to cut family off, but you gotta do what you gotta do to progress in life. And if they holding you back, then hey.
So, you know, I mean, people grow. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like you can forgive her? Like if she tried to come back around and like, hey, you know, matter of fact, if she can point out what she did, and you know, like back then I was kind of jealous of you, but now I realize it. And, you know, can we be cool? Like, could you deal with that?
Yeah, but you gotta show me though. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk all of that, but you gotta show me through your actions. You know what I mean? Because you can talk a good game, you can say whatever. You know what I mean? Shit could sound good.
I'm right with
you. Know what I mean? But you gotta show me.
Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like you ever been like a hater? Could you admit that you've been a hater before?
Yeah, you know, younger, you know, just, you know, seeing my friends, you know, having the life, like having their parents together and be like, she thinks she's all that, she got people with her and all of this, and she just you know what I mean? But it was never malice, you know what I mean? It was never to a point where I'll just be like, you know, like dislike a person because they got something that I want, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel a little twing in my little chest or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, I mean, everybody got their cards dealt to them the way that they are, you know what I mean? I just had to accept things the way they were, you know, but yeah, you know, it ain't never been to the point where I just be like, you know, make myself, you know, lower my vibration towards people, you know, and still fuck with you, you know what I mean? But you think you all that.
My thing would be like, if I felt jealous, I would want to get in on something. Like, if I knew somebody rap better, like, nigga, get on my song. I grew up with my parents. If I didn't have my parents, I would want to hang with the kid, you know, who got parents. Like, I want to get in on it. I wouldn't necessarily be like, I don't like that nigga because he got that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I didn't dislike people because they had something I had, or didn't have. It's just, you know, I'm like, girl. And or better yet, it's just people who just didn't appreciate the things that they had that I didn't have. Man, that would make me hate that person. You know what I mean? As far as being a hater, it's just like, you know, little here and there. You know, it wasn't to the point where I can call myself a hater for real. You know, it was just that I always give you love until I show that you're not appreciating the shit that you have. Now I'm feeling some type of way. Because I'm like, lady, you not understand there's so many people out here who wish they had what you have. And you out here not appreciating it. I can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? That type of shit. But, yeah.
Okay, has anyone tried to make you jealous with someone you was miserable with?
Try to make me jealous with someone I was miserable with?
Yeah.
You talking about that person? The person I was miserable with trying to make me jealous?
I'm sure you can say the person, like an example, like what they did or whatever. You not getting what I'm saying?
No, I'm sorry.
Basically, like if you break up with your boyfriend now,
Right.
and he was like making your life feel like shit, he was draining you, but his new girlfriend trying to make you jealous because she got him, but he really about to do the same thing to her.
She like,
yeah. And what's crazy about that situation is that I was done with that man before I even knew about y'all. Like my ex, you know, we have a child together. You know what I mean? And you know, things didn't work out between him and I, but you know, I was, like I said, I was already done with him, and it wasn't for that reason of him being with her. It was just how me and him dealt with each other. It was just like, yeah, I'm done with you, bro. You know what I mean? And the girl, you know what I mean, started posting pictures of him and her together. Like I said, this is before I even knew about her, you know what I mean? I was done with him before then, but I started like seeing on social media her posting pictures of him and her together, and they all in the mirror hugged up and such. I'm like, okay. By all means, you can have that. You know what I mean? I was already done with dude, you know? And then she would just, you know, she would send emails to me, because like the thing about it was, he was still contacting me, you know what I mean, about us and our daughter, and he would send me messages like, I want our family back, and so on and so forth, and I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm straight. And he'll ask me for pictures of the baby and so on and so forth, and I was sending him pictures, and then she'll just randomly email me like, she'll make the subject line pics and be like, hey, I don't know, whatever you got going on with him and you, but stop sending him pictures and this and that. He's my man now. And I'm just like, yep, girl, I don't want that man. I'm good. So it was just funny, because it's like, you have no idea that I'm done with him, and you are wasting your energy trying to make me jealous. You know what I mean? Having all his children, like, have fun with that. You know what I mean? I'm cool. So,
all your kids by him?
Oh, no, not all my kids, just one. But, you know, they had children together, and I just felt like they were having all those kids and trying to make me jealous. And I'm just like, I'm cool. It is not bothering me at all. I'm living my life, you know, I'm straight. So it was just funny how that happened.
I had my time.
Exactly.
Okay, so you believe in like child support?
Okay, so the thing with child support is you know, at a point with my oldest daughter, you know, I put her dad on child support because, you know, he just wasn't doing anything at all. That was the way I looked at it. I didn't look at it as a way to try to be spiteful or try to make his life more miserable. I really wanted support for the child. You know what I mean?
Would you just give him the child then if you can't take care of it?
Like, he couldn't take care of her.
He didn't want to?
He left the state, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, what can I do? You know what I mean? She's my baby and you left. Like, I have to be the responsible one here, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I put him on child support. And then after my second daughter, I was just like at a point where it didn't even have nothing to do with any, you know, just being afraid or making stuff harder for him. It was just that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. I decided to have this child. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm not gonna chase behind no man to handle his responsibility. You either do or you don't. But at the end of the day, I'm her mother. I gotta do what I gotta do for her. And that's what I'm gonna do.
So did he want to keep the baby, or like when you got pregnant?
That's the crazy shit about it, right? Like he wanted me to have the child. Like I was going the other way with it, you know what I'm saying? And he literally begged me to have that child. He begged me to. And I had her, and he dipped. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So it's just like, hey, but like I said, at the end of the day, I brought her here. You know what I mean? I'm her mom. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do for that baby.
Like that, like after begging me to have a baby, I don't know how I could, friend. I don't know how I could do it.
Man, well, it was a challenge, you know. But like I said, I brought her here. You know, she here now. Can't do nothing about that, but be her mom.
Yeah, I could actually like just be strong, but like I don't know what I would have did to that, like that man. Like you begged me to have this baby, and then you just up and leave.
And do, you know,
that's crazy to me. Like now I feel like you just set me up. It's a trap. Like
definitely, for sure.
So is his parents like together? Like he come from like a good home or broken home?
Well, his mom passed when our daughter was about, I'm gonna say she was probably about 7. His mom passed. I don't think he had a good relationship with his mom, honestly. Honestly, I don't even really know what type of relationship he had with his dad. You know what I mean? I don't think they were together, you know, at all. But so it was already, you know, some type of damage for him there. So, like I said, man, before, you know, we all are damaged in some type of way, you know, and I try to be understanding about it, but, you know, I made the decision to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, we created this child. She's here now, so I hold myself accountable for that.
that's awesome.
Yeah, my dad, he left and he ended up coming back. He was like, yeah, my dad didn't leave me, so I couldn't leave my family. So, and then when I was in high school, I used to hear guys like, my dad left, shit, I could do the same shit. Like, so, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, someone who did you wrong but needed them again.
Someone did me wrong and they needed me, or I needed them?
You needed them again.
I feel like once you cross me to a point where I don't want to deal with you, it's over completely. I'm not finna double back on you, man. If it's something that you had that I may find beneficial, I'm gonna learn how to do that shit myself. I'd rather do it myself. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm not finna give you the leverage, you know what I'm saying, of you done fucked over on me, and then I try to come back, and then now you're gonna try to hold that. No. I'm not finna give you that opportunity, you know what I mean? Because once you cross me, I'm not finna keep giving my energy to you, regardless of what it is that I might need from you. I'm gonna just learn how to do it myself, you know?
Okay, can you move past a situation in a friendship or relationship the person keeps denying that they did it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's gonna push over. You know what I mean? I have faith that
if it was cheating, like, and you knew he was cheating, like, you can forgive him if he keeps saying, "Oh, I ain't do that shit," and it's like proof in his phone, like, you can forgive that, like.
no, I'm done with that. Because if you can't hold yourself accountable for your bullshit, then if I'm gonna keep putting my energy in you, what make me think that you're gonna be able to hold your own later on if you fuck up again? You know what I mean? Like you're not showing me that you're worthy of my energy if you can't hold yourself accountable for the shit that you do, especially if I know for sure that that's what's going on. Because you're gonna sit up here and try to play me like I'm stupid. You know what I mean? And that's an insult to my intelligence. I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mental thing. That's a mental game that you're playing with me. And I don't fuck with mental games. So if you can't hold yourself accountable for the shit that you did, I can't fuck with you, period. You know?
To me, it's toxic too.
Very.
That's like a sign of toxicity. And I don't need it in my life.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, if a woman expresses her pain in silence, should she give her man like a heads up before she get in a relationship with him? Or she just expect him to like figure it out?
Nah, man. I feel like if you are you talking about before the relationship starts?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. Like my man now, like when we first met, I told him that I had some things going on. You know what I mean? Before we stepped further into our relationship, let me get my shit together because I don't want to come into this relationship feeling like I need I need you. You know what I mean? I don't want to be no needy person. I want to make sure my energy is right for you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna heal from whatever it was that I was going through before. I'm gonna get all my shit in order before I deal with you, because you don't deserve that. You know what I mean? I want to give you a fair chance to be able to come into this thing without having to deal with whatever I was dealing with, because you didn't do that. You know what I mean? Let me handle that, and I'm gonna double back on you. I'm gonna spin the block on you real quick once I get my shit together, and that's what happened.
So what's needy to you? Just like financial kind of?
No. Finances is finances. You know what I mean? We're adults here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna handle my shit. And the thing with it is that when I say needy, I'm talking about needing for validation, needing for you to tell me that I am what I should already know. You know what I mean? I should already know I'm worthy. I should already know that I am what I am. You know what I mean? I don't need you to tell me that. Yeah, it feels good for a man to reassure me that he sees that about me. But being needy to me is just feeling like you just need a man to validate everything about you. And I don't need that. I ain't want that. You know, I want to make sure that I'm where I need to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to make sure that I can give myself that first. So I look like asking you for something that I can't give myself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, before I get into that relationship, I'm going to get my shit together first.
So how do you know, like, you dealing with the right guy? What make you be like, oh, I'm fucking with this nigga right here? Like, what does he have to do?
Nothing. Just show me. You know what I'm saying? Just show me. You do, like, a man will do things for you without you having to ask. And, you know, I get a lot of heat from that. You know what I mean? When I'm like, I'm not going to ask that man for shit. I'm going to see what he does for me. You know, I'm going to see what he's willing to do for me. Whenever he show me what he's willing to do for me, that's how I know I'm fucking with him. You know what I mean? And I'm free to do what he's doing for me. Like, I can be free with him. I can love him the way that I want to love him. I can support him the way that I want to support him without feeling guilty, without feeling drained, without feeling like I'm, you know, tricking myself out of the situation. You know what I mean? By giving to him. You know what I mean? So that's how I know, you know, like the energy is there to the point where, you know, I can give freely, I can love freely, I can care for him freely without feeling like I'm being, you know, taken advantage of or drained.
So what's 3 things you do to like pour into your man?
3 things that I pour into him. I listen. I shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I shut up and I listen to him. I pay attention to him. I observe him. You know what I mean? I take the time to really understand who he is as a man, what his likes and dislikes are. I can't, and I don't, you know, try to use a template of how to take care of my man, because he is just one man. He ain't everybody else. He ain't all the men that I've dealt with before. He's that one individual man. So I take the time to make sure I understand who that individual is. So all of his uniqueness, I learned that. And I make sure that I, you know, pour into that side, that whatever it is, that his uniqueness, I make sure that I cater to that. You know what I mean? Like, if he like, you know what I'm saying, like he like Red Bulls in the morning and he like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with his cereal, I'm gonna make that for him before he get up. You know what I mean? It's just doing the things that I know that will please him only, and I'm not gonna do what I did for the next man, because the next man ain't him. You know?
So what's something you're not willing to do to keep your man?
What I'm not willing to do? Shit, man. I don't know. I can't really think of nothing I'm not willing to do to keep him.
If anything.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like I said, compromise. You know, especially when you really, really fucking with him. You know, it's compromising.
Compromise is the key.
Okay, the fastest way to make you fall in love.
The fastest way to make me fall in love. Just the fastest way to make me fall in love. I can't really. I don't know. It's just like I'm very. I have a broad sense of connection with people. You know what I mean? It's not just one set thing that you can do to just be making me fall over for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way a man let me love him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you allow me to be me, that will get me, you know what I'm saying? That's with anything that comes with you, you know what I'm saying? So if you allow me to love you the way that I should be able to love you, there it is, you know what I mean? You allow me to be in my femininity. You don't scare me into not wanting to be vulnerable around you. You allow me to just be, you know what I'm saying?
So he can't tell you what to do, basically.
He can't tell me what to do. I mean, you know, I don't feel like it's necessary for you to tell me what to do, because I'm gonna just know what to do, because I'm gonna know you. I'm gonna get to know you, and I'm gonna know exactly what to do. You ain't gonna have to.
I'm saying you don't really know what to do if you don't really know what he like. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of guessing. So he gotta train you how to love him. You're not necessarily gonna know, like. So he gotta.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of the things are, just, no words are necessary. Things that actually matter. Like, you tell me what you like. You tell me what kind of food you like to eat. That little simple shit is, yeah, you can tell me that. But on a deeper level, of really loving a person, and really loving them the way that they need to be loved, that shit is, you don't have to say it. Because if I am into you the way that I say that I'm into you, I'm going to feel those, I'm going to see those things. I'm going to observe how you react to certain things. I'm going to observe how you, move and how you operate around other people. I'm going to see all of that, and I'm going to know exactly how to love you. You're going to tell me some of the things that you've been through in your life, and I'm going to analyze that, and I'm going to understand exactly how to move with you. You tell me about your past relationships, I know exactly what not to do.
Okay, so is it a red flag that like kind of turn you on?
A red flag that turns you on?
That you like, but it's not really good for you.
Let's see, a red flag that turns me on.
You got one. You can say you got one.
I'm trying to think. I don't think
I want no red flags.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody want no red flags, but I mean, for the sake of the question, I feel like, a man just being a little bit possessive. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me feel like you give a fuck, like you care about me to the point where it's like you see a man talking, like, who is that? You know what I mean? That type of shit, you know what I mean? Not to the point where you beat my ass because somebody talked to me, but just, a little, I see, who is that? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, just making sure that, you kind of keep that, that aggression a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like niggas who be kissing my girl, like they make her
yeah, of course that. Yeah,
doing all that.
Yeah, poking butt out a little bit. Right.
The church hug.
Yeah.
Okay, when the last time one of your kids like made you like have like a happy cry?
A happy cry?
Yeah.
A happy cry. Oh man. It's just little things my girls do. They may send me a little sweet little meme, from TikTok where they say, the person who's reading this is the best mom ever type shit. Like, it's just a little teary-eyed a little bit, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Just little stuff. They're girls, you know what I mean? So they do little emotional things like that. Just have me a little teared up.
Okay. Don't do that.
Okay, I guess we'll do one more. It's a quote that say the darkest part of your story gave birth to the strongest part of your soul. So do you feel like you can relate to that? Give me an example.
Give me that again.
The darkest part of your story gave birth to the strongest part of your soul.
The darkest part of my story gave birth to the darkest part of my soul.
To the strongest part of your soul.
The darkest part of my story, man. Just I don't know if y'all know what shadow work is, but I've been doing a lot of that lately. just really finding those things about yourself that you suppress that you don't want people to know about. Really acknowledging those negative traits that you have that you try to mask from the world, and just acknowledging those things, and really just, I think the darkest part would be the ego, you know what I'm saying, killing the ego off. And once you kill that ego off, like, there's nothing that nobody can tell you, to hinder you from the growth that you are intended to have. So I think that's why I can relate to that, just often that ego.
Okay, I guess kind of like tell everybody like what you do and like what are you promoting.
Alright, so I am bar heavy as fuck. I write my own music, I record my music, I engineer the majority of my music. I'm working on an EP right now, being released on my birthday on the 23rd. I'm working with a commendable producer, and we get into it, and I can't wait to drop that. I'm excited about it. This is gonna be a good one. I took a little hiatus from music for a while. I did some features, but this is my own solo project, and I really think the fans who check for me is gonna be worth checking for me, So I'm excited for that.
So what's a meaningful bar that you have?
A meaningful bar. Let's see. I look a man in his eyes when I'm talking to him. Can't call yourself a goddess if you not being honest, or not being in their eyes, or not looking a man in his eyes when you're speaking, because you connecting with his soul through his eyes. You know what I mean? Like, you looking around, you looking down. It's just like, it's kind of like you're hiding something from someone, but you really want that man to feel you. You looking that man in his eyes, and you making him understand where you coming from. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess, so do you got any kind of merch? You got a website?
That's all in the works. So it's all a part of this EP that I'm dropping. Like I said, I took a hiatus, so I'm coming back. I had one at one point, but kind of just let it go because I wanted to get a fresh start to it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I had to go through some things to really kind of get back in tune with myself. And I had took a trip to Florida, stayed there for 4 years, came back, and now I'm just like at a point where let me let all of this sink in and let this marinate so I can give the best in my work. So all of that's coming up. So whenever I get up and running, I'll make sure I shoot it to you.
Any last words, Karisha?
I was listening, like, she did amazing. Like, I have no words, but keep going and keep striving for greatness.
Thank you so much.
Okay, literally it's no pressure, man. I guess we're gonna see y'all in a minute, and we out.
Yeah.